Also joining us is Congress MP Deepender Hooda. Mr. Hooda, thank you very much. My first question to you is, do you think that this is a big opportunity that has presented itself for the opposition?
See, since you've asked a broader question, let me answer in a broader framework. If you look at what's happening, and not just this particular incident of disqualification of our party leader, Rahul Ji, what is happening is anybody in the opposition who's vociferously raising concerns about the crony capitalism, the rampant crony capitalism and corruption and government favoring certain big corporate houses, including the one which has been named by Hindenburg report, namely the Adani Group. Anybody who's raising their voice against the government, bringing out their corruption and asking a probe into their corruption matters, asking for JPC, that particular opposition voice has been targeted. Anybody, whosoever it may be. And the government has, not hesitated in using all sorts of government machinery at its disposal, including their question marks on the role of the investigation agencies. There are even question marks on certain constitutional institutions, the government trying to misuse certain constitutional institutions for serving its own political interests. Now, in such an environment, it is but natural for the opposition to find a common cause, and the utter injustice which has been meted out in the manner in which Rahul Ji has been disqualified over a matter which is, as we all know, is not the disproportionate amount of punishment which has been meted out to him in the 2-year conviction and then leading to a razor quick disqualification. Now all this particular incident has provided that opportunity and for the opposition to come together. So in a way, I think opposition coming together to raise the issue of crony capitalism, asking for a joint parliamentary committee probe into these wheelings and dealings of the government, it's a welcome step, one step forward. It's a welcome step in fight for our nation and a fight for our democracy.
Well, Mr. Hooda, Rahul Gandhi's disqualification and many leaders in the opposition coming together, you making this statement, the point that you are making, it'll all be put to test in an electoral battle when people are convinced. You can be convinced about an idea, but are the people convinced? So that is my next question. Do you feel that you've been able to take this message successfully to the people, and its first test is going to be the Karnataka elections?
No, it is reaching the people. See, I am, as you know, very much a ground, I am a political worker connected to the ground. There are two things which you can find are a topic of discussion everywhere in the country today, in the countryside, in our cities, towns, villages. First is the manner in which certain corporate houses have been given preferential treatment by this government, namely the one which has been named by the Hindenburg report. So people are talking about the Adani Group and how the from railway to port to airports to defense, how privatization and crony capitalism accompanying that privatization has become the norm in this particular government. That's the first thing which is a topic of discussion everywhere, including those who have supported BJP in the past. Second, the injustice and the extremely disproportionate amount of punishment which was meted out to our party leader for no apparent big guilt or fault of his. Now that again, whenever there is an injustice which is meted out by such a government, it reminds people of the tyrannical approaches, and I think that again has found resonance amongst the people. So these two things, I can tell you for a fact, have found resonance amongst the people of this country. And you talked about the opposition unity. I think not just the opposition have found a common cause. But I think the people of this country also want to see a united opposition.
Mr. Hooda, why aren't you appealing against this decision of the court in a higher court? Because this has also now become a political matter of discourse. That you think it is very comfortable for you right now to keep this pot boiling, political pot boiling. Rahul Gandhi has been wronged, and get everyone together and not exercise a legal recourse.
No, we will, of course we will appeal in the court. That option within the judiciary framework is available to us, and we will avail of that. But now you talk about, we utilizing this opportunity for our political ends. You look at what has happened. What has happened, the chronology of this particular case will reveal the real intent of the government. See, the actual incident on which Rahul ji has been convicted by this lower court, he gave a speech in 2019 April. In April 2019, a BJP MLA in Gujarat, he filed a complaint and the case started. Then in 2022, this particular MLA went to the Gujarat High Court and himself sought a stay on his own proceedings in that particular matter in the lower court, and the court provided that. Then in February 2023, this year February 7th, Rahul ji raised the bogey of corruption charges against this government on the floor of the House. Immediately after that, this is February 7th, February 16th, the same Gujarat BJP person, he went again to the High Court and said now the proceedings be restarted. Within less than 10 days of that speech, again the proceedings were started, which were halted for the last almost more than 1 year. They were again reopened. And in a matter of 1 month, the court announced the conviction order, and by the way, and matter of less than 24 hours, Speaker of Lok Sabha proceeded to disqualify Rahul ji. I have heard that the prestigious project of this government is to construct a bullet train from Ahmedabad to Mumbai. But we did not know there is a super bullet train which was also being constructed from Surat to Delhi. I mean, a matter of overnight, that order reached the Lok Sabha Secretariat, and the Lok Sabha Speaker proceeded. There are so many orders, court orders. There is a court order recently which the Delhi High Court passed, that the government should provide old pension scheme to the paramilitary forces on the same pattern as the government is providing to the Army, Air Force and Navy. 3 months have passed by that order has not reached from Delhi High Court to the Central Secretariat. 3 months. But here, matter of minutes, the order reached. So the chronology and the haste and the manner in which the government has acted has revealed the real intention of the government, and the real intention is very clear. They want to silence any voice which raises the issues related to the crony capitalism, the corruption charges, and seeks an investigation against this government. Now you tell me, is it not in national interest? If there are certain serious corruption charges which have been alleged, it is not in national interest to have a fair investigation into those matters?
My final question, the Congress party also faces allegations of trying to seek intervention by foreign countries. Most recently, Digvijay Singh thanking Germany for their comment and commentary. And leader after leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party says that this is exactly what we were talking about, that the Congress party wants foreign intervention in domestic matters.
Let me say, now you look at what has happened. Since February 7th, when Rahul ji made that speech in the floor of the House and the opposition started demanding for a joint parliamentary committee probe into allegations of corruption of this government, what has happened after that? Now, one is this disqualification, number one. Number two, they attacked Rahul ji for making a speech or a statement in London or Britain where they alleged that Rahul ji has sought help from foreign countries, where on the contrary, Rahul ji was very categorically clear in saying that these are all our internal matters and we will have to sort them out internally. He had said it very clearly. But the first attack was, oh, you spoke on the foreign soil and now you have to apologize. Second attack was disqualification. Third attack was on that OBC. Certainly now the OBC issue has come up. Now BJP has to decide which is the issue on which they are taking us on. Now since we raised the demand for a joint parliamentary committee probe into a fair investigation into corruption allegations against the BJP government, as laid out by the bare facts of the Hindenburg report, BJP favoring one particular corporate house, their state governments favoring one particular corporate house, it is a just and fair demand for any opposition to demand the inquiry. Now, okay, you don't agree with that, but you are trying to silence us. But what is the issue that you are choosing to target us on? You decide whether it's OBC, whether it's spoken on the foreign soil, whether it's disqualification. I mean, BJP has to be clear, and we will answer on that particular issue. But the intention is brought out by these attacks. That question is not about the issue. They just want to silence our voice and they just want to attack us.
All right, Mr. Deepender Hooda, thank you very much for joining us. With that, we come to the end of this edition of The Big Fight. News continues on the other side. Thanks for watching.